Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. 8th class students, here your first video from your textbook where you have altogether 12 units. In number 1 and 2nd unit, your theme is food. 3rd and 4th unit, your theme is the environment. 5th and 6th units, your theme is cautionary tales. 7 and 8 units, your theme authors and characters. 9 and 8 unit, your theme is myth. 11 and 12 units, your theme is health. So in this way we have 2 chapters in each theme. Now students, before starting our first unit, let me brief about your copy. You contain 2 copies of English text and English grammar respectively. So students, regarding index, you must have index in your both copies of 3.5 or 4 pages. Each page contains 2 sides, front and back. So 3.5 means 7 sides of pages and 4 pages means 8 sides of pages. Hopefully you got my point. In text copy, after filled up your index, you must make your title page of your concerning unit. This way you have prepared page to start your work that you will get after the explanation of this unit in our next or following video. Okay, now come to our poem. So our poem name is Yogurt and Cinnamon Dessert with Rose Geraniums and Peach. It's so interesting. The theme is interesting not only for children but for the youngsters also. Food. The poem is full of dishes name and interesting items. It is free verse poem having no rhyme or rhythm scheme or any particular organized structure as you have seen in your primary classes. So in this poem, it is one of the example of free verse poem, and you can see somewhere you see rhyme scheme, somewhere you see the proper arrangement of the sentence, but not everywhere. Okay, so it is called free verse poem. Here in this poem, besides speaker, we have an important character named Martha or Marsha. The speaker belonged to Asia. Somehow he appears like a guest to Martha or Marsha, and Martha or Marsha was described through her skillful dishes, as Marsha is exceptionally great cook. She has reached to this level due to her dedication and will to do great effort to present delicious dishes before her guest. It was her distinguished quality, although she is quite shy, sheepish, and self-conscious lady. So now we move to our first segment of this poem on page number 9. Was her name Martha or Marsha, the one with the enchantress hands? Students, here enchantress, actually enchantress is describing the character of Marsha, and it is describing the fascinating and magical quality of Marsha regarding her cooking skills. A little eager, a little shy, I walked into her kitchen that first morning towards the smell of coffee and muffins. Blueberry, she said conspiratorially. Heaven, I said, one large bite, and 2 quick sips later. Heaven on earth. Students, conspiratorially, it is often used in negative sense, but here it is used in positive perspective. It means that she had something hidden plan in her mind to make the speaker taste those muffins. to admire the skillful and the efforts of Marsha or Martha. The speaker suddenly assumed her that he is somewhere in heaven. Actually, it is the praising and admiring phrase that he is praising Marsha for her efforts, for her hard-working skills, that and the dedication, that how she is presenting and how she is very much anxious and desirous to present her best of best to her guest. Now we come to page number 10 of second segment of this poem. I counted them greedily, 3 breakfasts, 2 dinners, each outdoing the other, thin slices of fish wrapped around soft seedless dates, dips with cheese and herbs, served course by course light pastas, the right drink, voices reverential as we ate. You will like this, she said the last evening, knowing by then where I came from. It's yogurt and cinnamon dessert with rose geraniums and peach. It means that all the dishes were so delicious that the speaker never found any match of such masterpieces of Marsha or Martha ever before. All were better from one another, and they were enjoying a skillfully made meal, along keeping the feeling of profound respect for Marsha also, that how she had put all her heart and soul to serve them. So this is also one of the praising segment. And here in this segment, Marsha also make the speaker realize that she already known the fact that where he has belonged to, because the speaker belongs to Asia, but now he is in America, and the Martha belongs to Ireland. So it is the combination of 3 places: Asia, America and Ireland. And you can see this combination in the last segment of this poem. Okay, now we move on to the third segment here. I picked up a plate and the first spoonful conjured up a taste. I thought I had forgotten curd steamed with sugar and cinnamon, a treat my mother made. The rose geraniums are an Irish thing. She said, I picked that up in Ireland. Her cheeks were flushed. Was it my delight, or was it the heat from her oven? Asia, America, Ireland. Cinnamon, yogurt and peach. You are astonishing, Martha. I said for Martha it was, and I was happy and close, so close to tears. So this is the end of the poem. Here you see students, in second line of the last segment, you see conjured up. Conjured up is used here in positive form. It is again the admiration and praisal phrase for Martha or Marsha. It's a sort of emotional and so much touchy. You find the segment of this poem. This time, Marsha made the speaker to recall her mother's expertise, and you know, students, that including me, every one of us are ever fan of our mothers throughout the life. And there are people whose mothers are no more in this world, but they still keep on admiring and memorizing their mother's cooking whenever they experience any other's cooking expertise. Actually, this segment is depicting the strong connection between mother and child, you know. We are always overwhelmed and overreact on mother's topic related to any of her trait, personality, style or habit. Every one of us is absolutely always so much sensitive about our mothers, so that the speaker also, you see, in fourth line, and cinnamon a treat my mother made. And you see, second last line, you see, you are astonishing, Martha. I said for Martha it was, and I was happy and close, so close to tears. So the last line is full of pathos, full of love for mother. Whenever we recall our mothers or think of them, so there are always tears in our eyes. It's quite natural. So this is the end of the poem, students. I hope that you must have got full description about this poem. It's plausible and sufficient enough to deliver the interpretation of this poem in simple and plain way and in absolute style. Till my next upcoming copy work video related to this poem. Allah Hafiz, and thank you very much.